for today's cup of coffee with Scream. Oh, is right. And we are recording this on, what is this? What month is this?
It's the fourth month.
April the 18th, 2025. Good Friday.
Yeah, we're only 4 months into this year.
Yeah, and it seems like it's gone on forever already.
Sort of. Parts of it flew by and parts of it dragged on.
And it's weird. Everything is in this very odd juxtaposition. I mean, it just, and it's almost like cognitive dissonance, trying to hold two opposing ideas simultaneously in the brain, which breaks brains.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, I mean, it is that Orwell, his type of thing, such as war equals peace. That's some prime cognitive dissonance right there.
Yes, it very much is, because war is not peace, and that does not bring peace. That brings trauma, division.
Yeah. And that was the whole thing about the gaslighting and the psychological warfare used in the book. Mm-hmm. And that it's crazy that you have people in today's world that want to ban that book.
Well, because it tells the truth as far as how that shit is?
Mm-hmm. To warn it. To warn about it, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been most interesting. And David Palmer, the Leo King, had posted something on X, and he said, this Easter is not normal. That it's happening in Taurus, not Aries. And the extremes of the planets are anything but nice. And he said, golden eggs, no. And he said that events today through next week will make you understand that if there were an Easter bunny, how he would be coming out prepped for anything. And he's got a little rabbit in a World War I outfit.
I was going to say he would be decked out. He'd be decked out in war gear, had to have a bullet belt, all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he basically
firearms strapped on.
Mm-hmm. And then Robert Phoenix, and you can follow these folks over there on X. And he had said, Mars-Pluto opposition. Are you feeling it? Everyone feels disrespected. That buried Mars in Cancer ready to explode. No feel-good Aquarian vibes here. The masses are heated. Patience long gone. Days of Moloch. The season of death and resurrection. Sacrificial blood is in the air.
That's
scary.
Yeah.
Sobering.
I saw that on X, and it's like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. Shit.
Well, it's a matter of telling people the truth, and a lot of people do not want to hear the truth.
Right.
And it's like on the previous cup when we were talking about the space ride, that nobody told these people don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And we love y'all enough to tell you the truth.
Yes. Don't do stupid shit.
Well, and
don't act like an asshole.
Be prepared. Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Stay prayed up.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime as far as, and that was something I was talking to oldest kid for a few minutes. And oldest kid is big brain. He's wrinkly brain.
Big wrinkly brain.
And so talking to him, I don't know, I think he has to lower himself to talk to me and youngest kid sometimes. It strains him.
Yeah, it definitely does strain him sometimes talking to me.
But
I got the ick. I'm sorry.
He's over there yawning and yawning. I've forgot what I was going to say. But I was asking him about 4chan and what happened. Basically, it was infiltrated.
Yeah, it was infiltrated by a bunch of glowies.
And libs.
Yeah.
And that some of the people that were over there had seen the writing on the wall long before. Mm-hmm. And he said it had been dead for years, that they finally just buried it.
Yeah.
And for everything, there's a time and a season. We're told this.
That's true. But what's going to turn into the new 4chan?
We don't know.
It's certainly not Reddit.
We don't know. And you're thinking, how in the world did you go from, Good Friday to 4chan? Because it's a matter of sacrifice.
Right.
Because during the trial of Christ, it was infiltrated.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been so many things that has been on display lately, as far as people being falsely accused of things, convicted of things that they did not do. I'm not saying that any of these people are like Christ. I'm saying that there are similarities in what has happened.
Mm-hmm. There's big similarities.
And
it's
the devil gloated. Totally, completely gloated. If you want to watch something, watch the animated, I can't remember if it was Baskin, whoever it was, that used to make the cartoons and stuff, as far as that they did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, I don't know that animation
Hang on just a minute,
company.
let me look and see if it was who it was. And Aslan is the Christ-like character in that series.
Mm-hmm.
And C.S. Lewis, he was just amazing. And his story is amazing. At one time, he was an atheist.
But he became a believer. And,
he did.
And the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe was born.
It wasn't only that. He was very angry because when he was a child, his mother died.
Right.
In that he thought God must not exist because his mother died. And, it's just kid brain.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of adults operating in kid brain, and how often do we try to force God's hand?
Right.
I was trying to see what this says on this.
Because none of us can force God's hand on anything.
No. Let's see. This was the original one, and it says that the director was Bill Melendez or something like that.
Melendez.
But it's really good. You can find it on YouTube or someplace, pretty easily. It's worth watching. Yeah. It's not the best animation in the world, but it gets the job done.
Right. It's got its own appeal.
It does. And especially, like I said, as far as Aslan, when they thought that they had killed him. And all the demons, goblins, and everything like that, just dancing around.
Mm-hmm.
And to a degree, that's what the devil is doing right now.
Yeah.
That evil always overplays its hand. Always.
Always. And it never wins.
We're seeing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's seeing it. Just, perilous times. And it's interesting, I had seen today, it was from Spain. Somebody had posted, and I don't know whether it was for Easter or whatever it was, but it was Orthodox Catholic, a parade, and had this very elaborate float, and that the people, it's very, very different than our American culture. Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah.
And they had like these black robes and the hoods, that long, tall, pointy black hoods.
Yeah. It's kind of ominous.
It was. And it's also one of those, because I asked oldest kid about that also. Just because it is something, before you condemn something, find out what it is.
Right. Right. Because if you're condemning something out of ignorance, that then
yeah.
It's a falsehood.
Yeah. I mean, ask questions. Be inquisitive.
Right.
So, do a little bit of digging.
Mm-hmm.
For what's expected of us.
It very much is.
And my comment, because Matt Baker was the one who had posted it, and I said, it doesn't look like the celebration for a carpenter.
Mm-mm. No, it really does not.
And somebody had responded, it's a celebration for a king. And it was like, that was a good answer.
Yeah. That was a good answer. A celebration for a king.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And in the Indiana Jones movies, or the first one, when they were searching for the Holy Grail, which I don't even know how all that myth started.
Right.
But he was in the room with all these goblets, jewel encrusted and gold and silver and everything like that. And he found one that I think it was supposed to be wooden or whatever. And he said, that is a cup for a carpenter.
Yep, made by Carpenter.
But even within that, to sit there and go, let's think about this. Let's just go back and look at this for a moment. More than likely, the Holy Grail totally does not exist. It was supposed to be the cup that caught the blood of Christ.
Right. Supposedly.
None of the followers and stuff were there right at the cross. Mm-hmm. They were a distance. Mm-hmm. The disciples were concerned that they would be arrested next. They had seen, before he was crucified, Christ was almost unrecognizable because of the beating that he had received. And I'm not going to go deep, with this, because you can, if you want to watch something, watch The Passion of the Christ. And it was interesting that Netflix had edited and removed scripture at the first of the movie, it's according to some of the people on X.
It's like, how dare they? Yeah. Seriously, how fucking dare they?
Yeah. And it's just, these people, the Roman soldiers, they would just, it didn't matter what, life meant nothing to these people. They were masters at torture and death. Mm-hmm. So were the Pharisees. The Pharisees were smart enough to get the Romans to do their dirty work for them.
Yeah. That's more insidious.
Mm-hmm. So evil. There was more than likely no vessel there to catch the blood.
Yeah.
Because no one would have been allowed to go there at the foot of the cross.
Mm-hmm. Unless they said it there beforehand.
They wouldn't have done that. They're the Roman soldiers. They gambled for the man's only possession, which was a robe.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And the reason they did that is because it was without seam. So, I found an article that said that more than likely that the if the vessel was there, if the Holy Grail was there, it's probably made out of limestone. And may have looked very much like this little picture. And it was from New Creation blog.
Uh-huh.
And it was an archaeological thing, and I'll put a link to the little article.
Okay. I didn't see the photo beforehand, so
That's
I
all
don't
right.
know what it looks like.
It's simple.
Well, that's what Christ was.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Humble.
Humble, yes.
And that is one of the things, to walk humbly. Mm-hmm. And that's what we try to do. Mm-hmm. There's reasons. It's not a matter of, and we're not condemning anybody. People have to find their own path, their own way. The things of the world mean nothing to me anymore. I have things that I enjoy. It's like I had recently bought a bat house.
Yeah. But
it's adorable.
It is adorable, and it smells nice. It smells of fresh wood. To
have someplace that the bats can go and roost.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun little place.
We like the bats.
Yeah. It spooks up the yard, which is awesome.
Could I have lived without it? Yes.
But it's okay to have things.
It is okay to have things.
But it's not okay to have your life solely focused on said things.
Right. Well, I thought it was
when those things become your God. That's
right.
It
ain't
ain't right.
Yeah. It's like
it's not good.
Your heart and your spirit's not in the right place.
Right.
I thought it was absolutely hilarious for these people, these name brand, these big designer brand people, to find out that they were made in the same shops in China that just regular stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they thought it was some luxury crafted thing. Mm-hmm. And turns out it's the same cheap shit from China. Mm-hmm. So they got scammed. Mm-hmm. Big time.
So it's just that, like I said, this has been almost 60 years journey. Walked a very, very broken road. And there's nothing in this world that means anything other than him.
Right.
God is my life's quest. And it makes some people, I don't want to say uncomfortable. I don't know why. We don't preach on people.
No.
We share what we beliefs. And if somebody says, why do you believe? I'm like, because he was there.
Right. Well, I think it also puts their own whatever the fuck mindset into question. It makes them question their own beliefs, their own
They need to question.
mindset or whatever.
They need to question all the time.
Yes.
What is true will stand the test.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with Michael Heiser, I adored him because so much. And I'm like, I have studied all these years and I don't even know enough to fill a thimble.
Right.
And that he was able to, and it's not that I'm envious or anything like that, but he was given the gift to be able to go back and read scripture in the original languages.
Yeah.
He understood the culture and he shared all that with other people.
Mm-hmm. And you admired him for that.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. That was his life's work.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's still there. He's gone, but his work is still there. I can still listen to it.
Yeah, his legacy still stands.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would have loved to have done, things like that. But I learned from him. That is something I like learning. I am nerd.
Well, you got Gemini something?
Moon.
Yeah, Gemini moon. So you love to learn. You love to learn.
Right. And another one, Brennan Manning. He can explain the grace of God like no one else.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was another one who walked a very broken road. He started out to be a priest. That didn't work. He got married. He got divorced. He was an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. There'd be times that he had and he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. At one point, he allowed himself, and he was, with the permission of the warden, to live as an inmate so that he could minister to the people.
Which is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Not many people's going to do that.
No, a lot of people are not going to put themselves or risk their own safety, for that sort of shit. They're not going to humble themselves to that point.
Right. But he did. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was a matter of him falling and God picking him back up, and he would walk a ways and he would fall again. And that's why he can explain grace like nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so regardless of what happens in our world, as far as believers, we have the promise that we're told this world is not our home.
Right.
We're just passing through. This is boot camp.
Right. Right. This is nothing more than a training ground.
Mm-hmm. So it's like to have that faith and that promise and that hope. And that is something that we always try, as far as with laughter and hope and love, that is the message of every cup.
Mm-hmm.
Even with broken voice, it sounds like 13-year-old boy tonight. Whatever is going on with that.
It sounds fine. Sounds all right. It sounds better.
It's the message.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what the voice sounds like, as long as the message gets out there, because there will be people that listen no matter what.
Well, and it's a matter of love, because it's as if you can have all these spiritual gifts and everything like that, and you can do all these things, but if you don't have love, you're none of his.
Right. Right.
Now, that does not mean that you have to let people murder you. People get really weird about mixed messages of what Christ was saying.
You're allowed to have a sense of self-preservation.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
he sacrificed because he was chosen. He was blameless. He was the lamb without spot or blemish.
Yes.
We're just people. If somebody sacrifices us, we just dead.
Yeah.
It benefits no one.
Right. Right. Although if we just did, we get to go home, you know?
Well, that's true, but still, yeah, that means you don't run out here and do that intentionally.
Right. You don't harm other people. You don't harm
No.
yourself. None of that.
Right. Right. So, with this weekend, please, situational awareness, and within this coming week, and we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
There's been things that's happened that we have no clue.
That's
but
true.
For what we don't know, none of this is a surprise to God.
Right.
And that's where we put our faith.
Mm-hmm.
This is a supernatural weekend.
Yes, it very much is.
Yeah. It's a weekend of miracles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God, you've got somebody that conquered death, hell, and the grave.
Yeah. Snatch
What?
the keys up.
How much more supernatural could you ever want?
Right.
And that people treat that as common. And it's like you're missing it. No, this really, really happened.
Yes, they're treating it. It's not that they're treating it as common. They're treating it as fiction.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's a comic book. Like it's a story that came out of a
Right.
fictional comic book.
Right.
But this is real. This actually happened.
Yeah. And that at the moment he said, it is finished. And that the veil in the temple was rent top to bottom. That thing was feet thick.
Yeah.
And it opened up to where you could go to God the Father through Christ. You don't have to have a priest. If you want a priest, go get you a priest. But it's not required. He is our high priest.
Right.
That
Exactly.
there was no more separation between man and our Creator.
Which is
Awesome.
it's beyond words.
It is.
Awesome. It's beyond words incredible. Like that is just.
And to sit in the presence of God. Just sit.
Yeah.
And be simple and grateful. And we're just podlings.
Yeah.
And so this cup, that would be our cup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Our cup, simple. Simple, humble, peaceful.
Yeah. And that we would share.
Yeah.
You want to tell the people where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda COCWS.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Have a good.
Know that you are loved.
Y'all are very much loved.
Very much. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Those are his words.
Yes.
And we share them with you.
And treat yourself how you would want to be treated.
Mm-hmm. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep, yep, yep.
Bye.
Bye.